Friday, August 28th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. It is another very nice morning across the region. Let's run down some 5 a.m. mountain temperatures. Many mountain spots. A good bit down into the 50s this morning. It is 58 in Black Mountain, Davidson River at 59, 54 in Banner Elk, 57 at the Avery County site, as well as Beech Mountain and West Jefferson. There's your highs across the region yesterday. It was a very nice day over a good chunk of North Carolina. Still a little hotter down around Columbia at 90 yesterday, 84 in Greensboro, it was 85 in Burlington, only 79 in North Wilkesboro and 81 in Mount Airy. There's your Charlotte area highs, a lot of mid-80s on the board yesterday. Low humidity, it was a beautiful Thursday across the region. And again, here's the 5 o'clock hour temperatures this morning, very pleasant across North Carolina. A lot of 60s, a few 50s mixed in here and there. A little warmer down into South Carolina. All right, so the past couple of hours, even along the coast, most of the showers and storms have drawn to a close, and some of that drier air that's been in place over a lot of the Carolinas is now bleeding a little further southward, and even the coastal parts of the Carolinas drying out just a bit here for today. Now that frontal boundary easing further to the south near the coast, allowing that drier air to slip on in. You notice the high-resolution modeling. Not very excited about rain opportunities for coastal parts of the Carolinas today. Maybe a mountain shower or two, but most of us dry here. For our Friday, nice highs too, with fairly low humidity, a good-looking way to wrap up the work week. The weather tomorrow looking very nice as well for your Saturday. We'll call it a partly cloudy sky. Your highs shape up like that for Saturday afternoon, and you won't see much here on Futurecast. Actually, let me go back here to this chart right here. You're not going to see much here on Futurecast for Sunday. Here comes Sunday. But I do think a few areas of showers and thunderstorms are a possibility by Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, especially across South Carolina and maybe the western half of North Carolina as the moisture deepens. Again, there's Saturday's highs. Here are Sunday's highs across the region. Now, thereafter, the forecast almost entirely depends on Erika. So let's get into your tropical update. Start with the satellite imagery, and Erika is continuing to move through the northeastern Caribbean. And what happened yesterday was the center of Erika adjusted southward. And that has really changed the overall outlook for this system pretty significantly. And I'll show you why here in just a second. Well, there's half of the radar data from the San Juan radar site. Get the idea. There's rain there, and there's been some big flooding problems in parts of the northeastern Caribbean. And moving up into Puerto Rico, this system continues to churn to the northwest. Here's the infrared satellite imagery. And again, we had that southward adjustment yesterday. So now Erika is going to have to deal with the very mountainous terrain of Hispaniola. There's some 10,000-foot mountain peaks there, and that is really rough on tropical systems. And from there, we'll be very close to Cuba. And so, in other words, instead of spending all this time over the warm waters and moving up into the Bahamas, it's now going to be dealing with some land areas of the greater Antilles. So that is really going to limit, I think, the upward potential for intensity of Erika. Here's the 5 a.m. advisory. 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds centered at 155 miles to Santo Domingo there in the Dominican Republic. Moving west-northwest at 17 miles per hour. Now there's the track guidance on this, and a lot of the modeling takes us right up into Florida. Now some of the modeling is in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and you'll see here the intensity modeling is largely now held in check due to primarily the land interaction I mentioned a moment ago. Some of the modeling still wants to bring this up to hurricane intensity, but most do not. And here's the official National Hurricane Center forecast. This moves to the northwest, and there you go. You see this moving up toward southeastern Florida Sunday, and then right up through the Florida Peninsula as you go through Monday and into Tuesday. The motion really slows, and I'll show you some of the specific modeling here on Erika in terms of the specific operational modeling here. All right, so here's the 0Z run of the operational GFS. This is valid Wednesday evening. All right, and so that is when you see the center of the circulation of Erika, very weak. This is probably a weak tropical storm, maybe even a tropical depression. It moves up in the easternmost Gulf of Mexico, just off the west coast of Florida. From there, the system kind of meanders further to the northwest in the general direction of the southern parts of Mississippi and Alabama, and you see a lot of that moisture kind of misses the Carolinas to the south. Now here's the European computer model solution. Again, kind of like the GFS, it brings us up into the easternmost Gulf of Mexico. From there, we see the system move up. This is now Tuesday, early in the afternoon, strengthening a bit there as you get toward Apalachicola Bay there, the Big Bend region of Florida. From there, the slow northeastward bend continues into the Florida Panhandle region, rather into southern Georgia. And you do see some of the moisture finally make it up into parts of the Carolinas from Erika in time. This is Wednesday afternoon on the European model. All right, now here's the Canadian solution, the operational Canadian. And this is now valid, let's see, Sunday afternoon, moving up into the southernmost part of Florida. From there, now this is Monday afternoon, centered near Jacksonville. And then here we are Tuesday afternoon, the center moving near the Georgia-South Carolina state line. And some of the heavy rains, the heavy tropical rains, moving up into much of the Carolinas on the Canadian computer model solution. Then finally, this is Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, the center of circulation near the mountains, and good rains over much of North Carolina. And so on the Canadian, you wind up with total precipitation rainfall amounts that shape up like that. That kind of burnt red color there, that's 5 inches plus. And then you get into these white shades, that's getting up to 8, 9 plus 10 inches of rain. So it's a soaker. And that would be great news for the drought areas on the Canadian solution. But again, a lot of the modeling kind of keeps us weak and further to the south, and other models do other things. And so it remains to be seen how much of an impact Erika will wind up having on the interior Carolinas. At this point, though, I say the threat to the coastal parts of the Carolinas has diminished a pretty good bit due to that southward jog of Erika yesterday. Not going to give the all clear yet for the coastal Carolinas, but the threat is a little lower now due to that southward adjustment. And we'll continue to refine the forecast for you as we move forward. Keep it tuned to Time Warner Cable News, 21 minutes, 51 minutes past every hour, the complete tropical update. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Have a great weekend, and God bless.